first. Mexico's long-awaited tax reform starts next year, and it includes higher taxes for the rich, taxes on junk food, and taxes on the stock market, the profits, that is. Tax reform remains a very sensitive issue, though, as the country deals with the growing gap between the rich and the poor. John Holman explains.
The taxman in Mexico wants more from the country's highest earners, like Luis, who works in finance. His taxes are going from 30 to up to 35%.
I think it's very important, this idea of solidarity and thinking that, yes, well, probably I make money, and in my proportion I can contribute to this country. I think that's very important. But when you're the only one that pays and pays more and pays more, and you really feel that it's not equal. No?
Mexico has one of the worst tax revenue rates among member countries of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD. The government is trying to change that. About 60% of the working population is in this informal sector and doesn't pay taxes. The government plans to change that, but it won't be easy. The reform also looks to close loopholes that have allowed some of Mexico's biggest corporations to avoid taxes.
We're taking more controls like the ones used elsewhere in the world, so that companies can still have flexibility, but not so much that they can abuse the taxation system.
The businesses protesting loudest are along the US border. They're set to lose their unique tax breaks. The many factories in the zone say the end result will be reduced profits, job losses, and even closures. The government says that the money is urgently needed for social programs. Latest figures show more than 45% of Mexicans live in poverty. According to economic analyst Eduardo Garcia, the tax reform is long overdue, but the country's record of corruption and government inefficiency inevitably lead to questions about where the money will go.
They're taking the right steps, but you have to be skeptical. I mean, because this country has proven left and right that it doesn't manage the resources the way it should.
The government is hoping that the changes will provide the revenue and the political leverage to push through the next weighty reform target, an overhaul of the country's energy sector. John Holman, CCTV, Mexico City.